It all came just crumbling down. Postpartum, my family had a lot of struggles at that time, and then these books come out. I came to a point where I was just like, what do I believe? Like, what is even real?
Your mom literally had how many different pregnancies? Because there was a couple twins in there.
There's 2 sets of twins, but she also had a stillbirth with her last, so it would have been like 18 pregnancies.
That is so crazy.
I totaled my truck.
It was bad. I'm crying, holding his arm. My brother that comes with my dad is like, Pops, Joy has been holding on to Austin's arm this whole time. They're courting. They're not supposed to even be holding hands. He really encouraged me. He kept saying, don't just ask all these questions and not search for answers. If you have these big questions of, is God real? Or does God care about me? Or bigger doctrinal questions. He's like, you need to be proactive and search those out. And I really appreciate that about Austin, because I know not everybody has such a supportive husband, but he never made me feel like, I can't believe you're going through this. And he was constantly there supporting me, wanting me to grow, become a better person, and encouraging me to search stuff out for myself. It really helped me spiritually, taking my faith from a lot of fear-based, it's similar to Ginger's, a lot of fear-based, to searching things out for myself, knowing that God loves me no matter what I do or what I don't do. I came to a point where I was just like, what is even real? What do I believe? Like, all this stuff. Ginger's book specifically was talking about just your faith. My parents never preached one time that it was, you do all these things and then God will accept you. But that's how I took it personally. We grew up with so many standards, and I was great at keeping all of these standards. And so my whole life I was like doing all these things, and my whole Christianity was always a checklist. I gotta read my Bible, check. I gotta pray, check. Like all these things. And so I feel like it all came just crumbling down when postpartum, my family had a lot of struggles at that time, and then these books come out, and I just had a hard time getting out of bed, had a hard time just doing what I need to do. I had to work through from rock bottom, like, okay, where am I going to go from here? I was really just fighting for months and months to feel better.
Did you think when you were younger that you would have 15 kids?
Yeah, definitely. I think whenever I was like super young, I thought that that was just what I was going to have. Like, if you get married at a young age, then you'll just have as many kids as possible. And so I didn't think that there was any other option.
Hey everyone, welcome back to The Fame, your go-to source for the latest in celebrity news and updates. Today, we've got some major Duggar family revelations that you don't want to miss. First up, we're delving into a heartfelt and emotional revelation from Joy-Anna Duggar. The reality star recently opened up about her crumbling family dynamics, her battle with postpartum depression, and the impact of her sister's tell-all books. We're unpacking all the details of her candid confession. Next, Jinger Duggar Vuolo shares a surprising confession of her own. During a recent podcast episode, she revealed an unexpected blunder while announcing her third pregnancy. One Duggar brother was completely left out of the loop. We'll tell you how Jinger lost track of one of her siblings while sharing the big news. Then, we'll explore a topic that continues to stir debate: Josh Duggar's family allies. Despite his conviction in 2021, some family members are still standing by him, while others have cut ties. We're breaking down who remains in Josh's corner and who has distanced themselves completely. And finally, we're addressing a question that's been circulating in the Duggar fan community. Could any of the Duggar kids choose to be child-free? With their family's traditional views on large families, this might seem unlikely, but is change in the air? So stick around, because we've got a lot to dive into today. Today, we're delving into a heartfelt and emotional revelation from Joy-Anna Duggar. The reality star recently opened up about her crumbling family dynamics, her battle with postpartum depression, and the impact of her sister's tell-all books. Stick around as we unpack all the details of her candid confession. Joy-Anna Duggar, best known from the hit reality shows 19 Kids and Counting On, recently bared her soul in a deeply personal episode of the Unplanned podcast. The 26-year-old didn't hold back as she lifted the lid on the multitude of struggles she's been facing, both personally and with within her famously large family, after the birth of her youngest son, Gunnar, who is now 13 months old, Joy-Anna found herself grappling with intense feelings of doubt and uncertainty. She confessed, "It all came just crumbling down. Postpartum, my family had a lot of struggles at that time, and then these books come out." The books she's referring to are the revealing memoirs penned by her sisters, Jill Duggar's Counting the Cost, published in September 2023, and Jinger Duggar Vuolo's Becoming Free Indeed, which hit the shelves in January 2023, just 4 months before Gunnar's birth. In these tell-all accounts, her sisters opened up about the family's controversies, including the cancellation of their show, Counting on, following their brother Josh Duggar's arrest and conviction on charges related to child pornography in 2021. Joy-Anna admitted that the combination of family turmoil and her own mental health struggles led her to question everything she thought she knew. "I came to a point where I was just like, what do I believe? What is even real?" she revealed, her voice heavy with emotion. She went on to discuss her battle with postpartum depression, noting that it felt more severe than anything she'd experienced after her previous pregnancies, while she had endured the baby blues for about 6 months following the stillbirth of her daughter Annabelle in 2019. This time was markedly different. "I think a lot of it was not taking very good care of myself during pregnancy," Joy-Anna explained. "My body was depleted. I felt exhausted all the time. It compiled with all the other things." She described feeling as though everything was collapsing around her, saying, "I would wish that on no mom. I know a lot of moms go through it." One of the pivotal steps in her healing journey was seeking professional help. Encouraged by her husband Austin Forsyth, Joy-Anna began speaking with a counselor once a week, just talking through a lot of family stuff, a lot of spiritual stuff, she said. Initially hesitant, she soon realized how vital it was to address her inner turmoil. She praised Austin for his unwavering support during this challenging time. "He really encouraged me," Joy-Anna shared. "He kept saying, 'Don't just ask all these questions and not search for answers. If you have these big questions of, is God real or does God care about me? Or the bigger doctrinal questions, you need to be proactive and search those out because I want you to know for yourself." Joy-Anna expressed immense gratitude for her husband's understanding nature. "I really appreciate that about Austin because I know not everybody has such a supportive husband," she noted. "He never made me feel like, 'I can't believe you're going through this,' or 'I can't believe you're questioning God.' He was constantly there supporting me, wanting me to grow, become a better person, and encouraging me to search stuff out for myself." Her journey has also involved reevaluating her spiritual beliefs. "I think it really helped me spiritually, taking my faith from a lot of fear-based. That's similar to Ginger. A lot of searching myself, searching things out for myself and knowing that God loves me no matter what I do or what I don't do. I'm still on a journey." As if these challenges weren't enough, Joy-Anna recently faced a terrifying health scare with her son Gunnar. Just last week, he was rushed to the hospital after what started as a common cold developed into alarming symptoms they couldn't manage at home. His condition escalated to labored breathing, prompting a trip to the ER where he received steroids, breathing treatments, and oxygen. After 2 nights in the hospital, Gunnar thankfully recovered. Joy-Anna expressed both relief and ongoing concern, mentioning that his respiratory issues might be linked to asthma, a condition that runs in their family. This incident came after a previous scare in June when Gunnar nearly choked on food but recovered after emergency care. Amidst all this, Joy-Anna has been making headlines for other reasons as well. She boldly broke away from her father, Jim Bob Duggar's strict modesty rules, which she adhered to throughout her upbringing. Additionally, she and Austin have recently found a buyer for their home, a move that comes amid reports of financial difficulties. Joy-Anna Duggar's openness about her struggles offers a poignant reminder that behind the reality TV fame, real people face real challenges. Her journey through postpartum depression, family upheaval, and personal growth is both brave and inspiring. We at The Fame applaud her courage and wish her and her family the very best as they navigate these complex times. What are your thoughts on Joy-Anna's candid revelations? Do you think sharing her story will help others facing similar struggles? We'd love to hear your opinions, so drop a comment below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to The Fame for more updates on your favorite celebrities. Don't forget to hit that notification bell so you never miss out on our latest content. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Next, we're diving into a surprising confession from Jinger Duggar Vuolo. During a recent episode of her and husband Jeremy Vuolo's podcast, Jinger shared a rather unexpected story about breaking the news of her third pregnancy to her family. While most of her siblings were in the know, one Duggar brother was left out, and Jinger felt terrible about it. Stick around as we unpack how Jinger lost track of one of her siblings while sharing her exciting news. So, as many of you know, Jinger Duggar and Jeremy Vuolo recently announced they're expecting baby number 3, but what caught fans' attention was how Jinger revealed the news to her large family, and how one brother in particular missed out on hearing it. In the October 16th episode of their Jinger and Jeremy podcast, the couple talked about how they shared the news with their families. Jinger explained that she was around 16 weeks along at the time of recording the episode. According to Jeremy, they first told his family, and most of Ginger's family found out early on, around 8 or 9 weeks, when they were visiting California for Ginger's sister Jana's bachelorette party. However, there was one sibling who didn't get the memo. Jinger revealed she accidentally forgot to tell her brother James. During a casual conversation at Jason Duggar's bachelor party, James, who's the 13th Duggar child, was shocked to learn that his sister was expecting. Jinger recalled the moment on the podcast saying, "I was just casually talking about the pregnancy," and he was like, "What? You're pregnant?" Jinger confessed she felt awful about the mix-up, especially since she's so close to James. "I love him so much, and that's why I thought I had already told him," she said. Despite the mishap, James took it in stride, and Jinger and Jeremy laughed it off during the podcast, with Jeremy joking that it's not easy keeping everyone in the loop when you have such a large family. Jinger went on to explain that she wanted to tell her siblings individually rather than through a group chat. But with 18 siblings, it's easy for life updates to slip through the cracks. Jeremy also pointed out the reality of group chats in large families, adding that many probably have their notifications set to silent because of the constant flow of messages. In the same podcast, Jinger opened up about the emotional journey leading up to this pregnancy announcement. After suffering a miscarriage in the past, the couple chose to wait until Ginger's second trimester before sharing the news. Now, they're looking forward to their gender reveal, which, according to Jinger, is going to be an awesome surprise. So, what do you think of Ginger's hilarious but relatable slip-up? With such a large family, it's understandable that she might miss one sibling in the flurry of announcements. Next, we're exploring a topic that continues to spark intense debate: Josh Duggar's family allies. Despite his conviction for receiving and possessing child sex abuse material, CSAM, in 2021, a few family members still rally behind him, while others have distanced themselves completely. As his prison sentence drags on, it seems like his allies are slowly but surely feeling outnumbered. Let's dive into who is still supporting Josh and who has definitively cut ties. In 2021, Josh Duggar, once a prominent figure on reality TV, was found guilty of possessing and receiving CSAM, marking a significant and tragic downfall. While many expected his family to universally condemn him, the reality is more complicated. Some family members have remained steadfast in their support, while others have spoken out against him, revealing deep fractures in the family. Starting with Anna Duggar, Josh's wife, her unwavering loyalty is no surprise to those familiar with the Duggar family's fundamentalist beliefs. According to their religious doctrine, wives are expected to remain obedient and loyal to their husbands, regardless of their actions. This is likely why Anna continues to visit Josh in prison, even as he serves time for such heinous crimes. Her belief that betraying Josh would mean betraying her faith has kept her steadfast, despite all of the scandals, from Josh's cheating to his eventual conviction. Her loyalty runs so deep that she's even concocted conspiracy theories, blaming political figures for Josh's downfall. Then we have Jessa Duggar and her husband, Ben Seawald. In 2015, Jessa bravely came forward as one of Josh's molestation victims, acknowledging the abuse she and her sisters endured at his hands when they were younger. Initially, when Josh was arrested, Jessa and Ben remained relatively neutral, waiting for the trial's outcome. Since then, their public statements have emphasized their empathy for victims of child abuse, but have been notably vague when it comes to condemning Josh himself. Could this be a strategy to keep the peace with other relatives? On the other hand, Jill Duggar has taken a much stronger stance against Josh. After coming forward in 2015 as another one of Josh's victims, Jill has admitted in recent years that she felt immense pressure to speak out and protect the family's image. In 2021, following Josh's conviction, she openly affirmed the jury's verdict, making it clear she is not one of Josh's allies. Jill's willingness to stand apart from her family and prioritize truth over loyalty has made her a powerful voice in this ongoing saga. Jinger Duggar and her husband, Jeremy Vuolo, have also publicly condemned child abuse without directly attacking Josh. In her memoir, Becoming Free Indeed, Jinger revealed that she hadn't spoken to Josh for 2 years at the time of its release. While she may not have explicitly denounced her brother, her actions speak volumes about where she stands. As for Jason Duggar, he has made no effort to avoid the topic of his brother's crimes. While he supports the guilty verdict, Jason has also publicly expressed forgiveness toward Josh, which aligns with the family's religious beliefs about redemption and grace. Jason's statement that he'll never stop loving Josh echoes the Christian value of forgiveness, though it's unclear how this sits with the rest of the family. Joy-Anna Duggar and her husband Austin Forsyth issued a firm statement after Josh's conviction, aligning themselves with the verdict and expressing gratitude toward those who work to protect children from predators. However, Joy-Anna also expressed concern for Anna and her children, urging fans to pray for them as they navigate this painful chapter. Of course, the most vocal and visible supporters of Josh Duggar have been his parents, Jim Bob and Michelle Duggar. Jim Bob's role in covering up Josh's early crimes is well documented, and it's widely believed that he even financed Josh's defense during the trial. Despite everything, the couple has visited Josh in prison and stood by him throughout his legal battles. While they may believe they are showing the unconditional love of parents, many see their actions as enabling and perpetuating the cycle of abuse within the family. So, where does the Duggar family stand now? It's clear that while some members like Anna, Jim Bob, and Michelle remain firmly in Josh's corner, others like Jill, Jinger, and Jason have taken different paths. Some quietly distancing themselves, others openly condemning him. As time passes and the family grapples with the consequences of Josh's actions, his allies are slowly but surely becoming outnumbered. What do you think about the ongoing divide in the Duggar family? Let us know in the comments below. Finally, we're diving into a question that's been floating around the Duggar fan community for a while now. Could any of the Duggar kids decide to be child-free? With the Duggar family's deeply rooted beliefs in large families, the idea of choosing to not have children might seem far-fetched. However, times are changing, and some fans are beginning to wonder if one or more of the Duggar siblings, or even their kids, might eventually buck the trend of constantly expanding their families. The Duggar are famously known for their massive family, with Jim Bob and Michelle Duggar having raised 19 children and encouraging a quiverful mindset, where having as many children as possible is seen as a blessing. Over the years, we've watched many of their older kids marry and start families of their own, but there's been growing curiosity about whether all of them truly want this path, or if it's just been a default expectation. One of the key names that come up when speculating about this possibility is Joy-Anna Duggar. After all, she's the eldest daughter, and lived through her 20s and early 30s single, without children, while helping to raise her younger siblings. Fans often wonder if her delayed marriage to Stephen Wisman could indicate that she might want a different life for herself, especially given the pressures she must have faced. Could she be the first to break free from the Duggar tradition of motherhood being the ultimate goal? Another potential couple some fans point to is Justin and Claire Duggar. The young pair has been married for nearly 4 years now, and they haven't yet had children. While that might not seem unusual for other couples, in Duggarland, this delay has sparked speculation. Are they simply waiting, or could they possibly be reconsidering the Duggar family's traditional stance on having as many children as God provides? While it's important to recognize that some of the married Duggar children, like Jill and Jinger, have spoken openly about family planning, none of them have explicitly chosen to be child-free, at least not yet. Many fans believe that it would take a significant deconstruction of their upbringing for any Duggar to make this decision consciously. However, some hold out hope that one of the younger siblings, like Jennifer Duggar, might take a different path, especially given how the next generation of Duggar has not been as immersed in the family's television fame as their older siblings. Of course, it's hard to imagine any of them making this choice openly. In the Duggar world, not having children isn't just a personal choice. It's often seen as a failure to fulfill one's duty as a Christian and as a woman. Even the idea of experiencing fertility issues is often framed as a tragic consequence rather than an opportunity for a different kind of life. Yet, as society progresses and the Duggar family grows older, could we see a shift in these expectations? Some fans even speculate that while it might be unlikely for the current Duggar kids to go against the grain, it's possible we could see one of the Duggar grandchildren choose to be child-free in the future. With changing times and influences from the world outside their conservative bubble, it's entirely possible that the younger generation could make decisions that would have been unimaginable for their parents. So, what do you think? Could any of the Duggar kids break away from tradition and choose to be child-free? While it seems unlikely now, there are hints that not all the Duggar children are fully committed to following in their parents' footsteps when it comes to family size. Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more updates on the Duggar family and all things reality TV right here on The Fame.